it's Sarah, and I am about to get started on Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. So I'm continuing with my read through of this series. This is book number 6. This is the one that takes place along the same timeline of the last book, which was Empire of Storms. And this follows Chaol because he is not currently with everyone else. He went down to another part of the world to heal after he was hurt in battle and paralyzed hurt, and was told that he could go down there to get healed, basically. So that's what he has been doing while the events in Empire of Storms was happening, and then this is the story of what he's going through. So I am excited, very excited to read this. This one came up with, not a lot of people were excited about it when the concept was first told. It was supposed to be a novella, and then it turned into a big thing, and people were very skeptical. But when people started reading it, they loved it. So I'm very excited about it. And I'm going to be reading this one with Lindsay. We're going to read it together because this is both on our 5-star predictions list. And I'm just excited to continue with this series and keep going. So I am vlogging every single book in this series. If you have not seen any of my other vlogs for the other books, I will leave my playlist link down below, but they are all spoilery. I am spoiling everything. So if you don't want to get spoiled for it, don't watch them. If you've already read them and you just want to know my thoughts, feel free to stick around. If you don't plan on reading them and you just want to know the story, then stick around. That's fine. Whatever you want. Okay, so this one is, let's see, this one's big. How many pages is it? It's big, but they go fast. I tend to really go through these books quickly because I can't put them down. So, all right, we're at 660, I think. Yep, 660. So, yeah, that's a pretty big book. So don't know how long it's going to take us to read. We're just going to do whatever. I do fan cast these books. So I will put up here who I picture as Chaol. I don't know who else is in the story, though. I know that Nesrin is in the story because she was with him. She accompanied him. But I don't have a character for her. I don't have a picture of her in my mind from the last book. So that's someone that I need to come up with someone as her character in my head. So when I kind of figure that out, I will let you know. But there is actually some fan art in here, or some artwork in here. And I think that's supposed to be her, and I'm pretty sure that's Chaol right there. My Chaol does not look anything like that, but that's okay. So I will think of someone for Nesrin for sure. And then anyone else that pops up in here, I'm just not sure, since he's not with our regular characters. I don't know who all is going to be in here. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I will let you know along the way. I will probably just try to update you. Let's see, since there's 600 pages, maybe every 200 pages, maybe I'll update you. I think that could be good, and let you know what's going on, let you know along the way what I'm thinking and all that good stuff. But I am very excited to finally be reading this one, guys. Okay, let's do our first check-in halfway through the book. Oops. Okay, this one's hard because I'm halfway through the book and not a lot has happened. So I'm getting a little concerned about that. So let me just catch you up on what has happened in the book so far. So like I said, this one is the same timeline as Empire of Storms. So in Empire of Storms, that was when Aelin and Rowan and Dorian, they all go and are fighting this big battle. They are teaming up with some people who they don't necessarily have the best past with, but they're helping. They coerce them into helping, and they are engaging in this big battle. So it was this huge thing, and it was just like nonstop action, and it was so amazing. And so this one is different. It's the same timeline, but we're following Kale. And Kale has gone to, I don't remember the name of the area, Antica, I think is what it's called, with Nesserin. And they are there so that he can attempt to be healed because he's paralyzed right now from the waist down. The king of Adarlan, before he was killed, attacked Kale with his magic, and Kale was paralyzed. So he was told that there's a possibility he could be healed by some healers in this area. So he goes down there with Nesserin to try to seek that out, and also to try to see if this kingdom will ally with them and basically fight with them. So it's kind of he's there for double reasons, right? So he's there. He's there under the guise of only being healed. So the partnering up has not really been presented yet. But he's being healed by a woman who is considered one of the best. And that is Yrene, who is actually from the Assassin's Blade. She had an interaction with Aelin, and Aelin basically taught her how to protect herself because she was being attacked by men consistently. So Aelin taught her how to protect herself and left her some money as well. So basically what Aelin did was help her get out of the bad situation she was in. Yrene doesn't know that was Aelin. Her name was never given. She never told her who she was. So she didn't know that that's who that was. And so that's interesting because Yrene keeps accrediting this person for helping her, but no one knows who she is. So that'll be interesting when that kind of comes around. But so far, they're there. The healing process has started. The healing part I enjoy because Yrene has magic, and she's able to tap in to his body to see what needs to be done to be able to heal him. However, she's being fought back by the dark magic that was basically put in him when he was attacked. It's not something he can access or use, but it's in there. So her magic and the magic inside Kale are fighting with each other every time she tries to heal him. So that's really interesting. And it's kind of forming a connection between the two of them, which I really like. Nesserin is developing a connection with one of the princes of this kingdom, which I really like as well. And that's just kind of all that's happened. We're halfway through the book. So while it's interesting and I am consistently wanting to pick it up, it's just there's not a lot of action, and I'm getting a little concerned that it's going to be like this throughout the whole book. But there has to be something, right? This is Sarah J. Maas. She can't write a book without something big happening. Just nothing big has happened yet, and I'm halfway through. So I'm a little concerned about that. So I'm hoping the second half of this book is just going to be like something big happens, and I don't want to put it down type thing. So I don't know. We'll see. So it's interesting. It's just, I'm halfway through and nothing really big has happened. So I'm going to keep going and hopefully see if this is going to pick up here soon. But for Yrene, I have someone, I'll put her picture up here. I'm trying to remember her name. Ryan. Her first name's Ryan. I can't remember her last name off the top of my head. I'll put her name down here. She's who I pictured when I was reading Assassin's Blade. And so she's in my head for that one. And for Nesserin, I did pick somebody, and I picked, I can't remember anyone's names. I keep wanting to call her Cara Dune, but that's not her name. That's who she plays in The Mandalorian. But it's this woman here. I'll put her name down here too. I'm sorry, I just, off the top of my head, I can't think of their names, but that's who I'm picturing as Nesrin as well. And that's all I really have. Everyone else is just kind of there. I haven't really placed anyone else yet, but yeah. So that's what's happening. Hopefully it'll pick up, because so many people gave this book 5 stars, and I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for the 5-star part, and it hasn't hit yet. So yeah, I will update you though again here soon and let you know what I'm thinking as it continues. Hey guys, okay, I have an update. So I've read a good chunk more. I am now on page 466 out of this book, so I have about 200 more pages left or so. Okay. A few things have happened. A couple things have happened. We had... Okay, so Nesrin and Sartak, who's one of the princes, have left together to go do some research and some, like kind of on a, I don't want to say a quest, but they're on a mission to try to figure out who is taking the eggs and little babies of the, I don't remember their full names, the rucks, big, large birds that people fly. And some of the babies and the eggs have been taken, and they're trying to figure out who was doing this. And you kind of learn a little bit more about that and find out that when the Valg has come through to their, like, you know, they kind of come through their little portals or, you know, tears or whatever, they have come through in the past and have kind of housed themselves in spiders. Like the really, really big spiders. I am Ron Weasley when it comes to spiders. I do not like spiders at all. So every time like spiders come up in movies and books, I'm always like, it's just so gross. So spiders have made an appearance in this series before, and now they're kind of making another appearance now. And so we learn how the Valg came through, which that's pretty interesting, and kind of where they've been hiding, if you will. So that is interesting. Okay, so Nesrin and Sartak have really tried to figure this out and try to find some of these spiders to see if they can be defeated, basically, and just like get them to stop attacking and taking the birds and stuff. Okay. They encounter one of them. That was pretty gross. That was a gross scene, but I liked it because it was action-y. And I was like, yes, finally some action. But it was just one scene. And then, so as of right now, Nesrin and Sartak are still, you know, trying to kind of rally things together and try to figure out how they're going to defeat this, right? They have teamed up with some people that he does some like flying with on the birds. So that's where they are right now. They have left the palace and the kingdom, and they are off doing their own thing right now, trying to prepare some stuff, right? So that's happening in that area. Kale and Urine are still at the palace, still working on him, trying to, you know, heal him. That's still happening. Kale is trying to form an alliance. He's having a hard time. He keeps getting shut down by the king of this kingdom. Okay, I'm finding myself, it's gotten a little bit better during my last reading session, but I was really finding myself getting bored every time it was Kale and Urine. I really liked them at first because I could see that chemistry building between them, but then I started getting bored because nothing was happening. She was healing him, yes, but nothing was happening, and I was just, you know, I'm sitting there through chapters and chapters of really just kind of dialogue more than anything. And I was getting a little bored. Not a little bored, I was getting bored. And now, finally, Kale and Urine have acted upon their attraction. So now I'm a little bit more interested because now they're making out, and I'm like, okay, this I can handle. I like this much better. We're getting some steamy things that Sarah J. Maas does very well. So I'm a little bit more interested now. But I'm not going to lie, you guys, it has taken 400 pages for me to really start getting interested in things that were happening. 400 pages. The first 400 pages of this book, I was bored out of my mind. I was mildly interested in learning about a little bit of the history of the vow coming through and all that thing. That's fine. I liked the process of Urine healing Kale. I thought that was good, and that part is pretty interesting as well, but it's not action-packed, and I was bored. So I have 200 pages left still. It is picking up a little bit. I've gotten little action scenes here and there, which, okay, I'm good. There's a shapeshifter that was introduced, which I liked as well. So we have another shapeshifter. But you guys, like, I'm sitting here reading this book going, how in the world has everybody given this book 5 stars? That's my thought process right now. I know I still have 200 pages left, but I need a battle. I need someone to die. I need some blood. I need something. I need something. And as of right now, I'm not really getting it. I did get the spider scene. That was good. And Kale and Urine are making out. So that's good. But those are the 2 most interesting things that have happened in this book so far. And I am 460 pages into it. For book number 6 in a series, I feel like there should be a lot more happening. A lot more. And, you know, this timeline mirrors the timeline of Empire of Storms. And Empire of Storms was nonstop. Like, the action did not stop, and that's why I loved it so much. I just couldn't get enough of it. I could not put it down. That book put me in a hangover, and this one is about to put me in a slump. So I'm, you know, obviously still going. I'm going to finish it, and I don't know, I just really hope that it is going to pick up and that it can finish strong. But as of right now, it's kind of sitting at like maybe a 3-star for me, because it's still the world, it's still the people, I'm still interested in everything and how things are going to tie together. But it's really not living up to my expectations right now. So I guess we'll see how it ends up finishing. So I'm just going to go ahead and update you again when I finish it and let you know my final thoughts. But yeah, 460 pages in, and I am not really getting it as of right now. So it's very interesting. All right, I will let you know when I'm done. Hey guys, okay, so I have a pretty good update for Tower of Dawn. I am so close to finishing, and I'm sitting here reading. I'm going to hopefully try to finish it tonight, but I wanted to give you an update on where I am before I finish it up. So, oh gosh, so much has happened. It's finally gotten to a point where I do not want to put this book down, and I just want to keep going. And every chapter I'm like, yes, yes, yes. And I'm happy that I'm there, but oh my gosh, it took so long. I'm disappointed that it took almost 500 pages for me to get to that point. But we are finally here. So first, there was a big scene with Nezrin and Sartek, and they have discovered where these ruins are, where they are thinking that the Valg are living there, or they're there for some reason, like kind of waiting instructions or whatever, that they're habitat, that word. They're living there. And they do find that out, and they find out that they are spiders, big spiders who can talk and think and kill. It's very like a little creepy. Blah, blah, blah. They were kind of scary scenes, but man, they were good. So we did that. I had a big gasp, like audible gasp moment in a scene where Sartak was gotten by a spider, and I was like, no. So yeah, oh, that was a good scene. So like that was very action packed, and I was like, yeah. So that's good. Nezrin and Sartak are now gonna make their way back to Kale because he sent them a letter asking for help. So Kale and Urine are finally, like, they are together. They started making out and I was like, yes. And then they kept on going and I was like, yes. So I'm very happy about that. And they are, as of right now, they have discovered secret tunnels in the bottom of the library where they think some of the Valg are coming in. So that's what they're investigating right now. So we're kind of on that path. So that's what's happening right now. I have about 50 pages left, so I'm very, very excited to finish it up and, you know, do all that tonight. So sorry, I have my ET here. He's hanging out with me. He's my reading buddy. Layla went to bed and I was sitting here reading and she brought me him so that he could keep me company. So I've literally been like, he's been sitting under my arm like this while I've been reading. So he's my reading buddy. This is hers. We got this for her at Disney or Universal. I want to say Disney. I think it was Disney. Went on the ET ride and she loved it and wanted to get one, and they've seen the movie. Both my girls have. So she got a little ET with his bathrobe, which is like the coolest thing ever. Okay, way off topic. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this tonight, hopefully. It is getting a little bit late, so hopefully I can stay awake. If not, I'll finish it first thing in the morning. So I will definitely let you know tomorrow morning what my final thoughts are. But I'm very happy that I'm finally to a point where, you know, I'm just like, yes, 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 yes. This is my Sarah J. Maas that I've been missing this whole book. So I have some theories on maybe why it was like that, but we'll see. All right, I'm going to finish it up and then let you know my final thoughts. Hey guys, all right, I finished Tower of Dawn last night. Okay, so when I updated you last night, we had just, let's see, Urine and Kale had just gone down below the library to follow some clues or some kind of inclinations that there may be Valg down there, or that's where they're getting in. So they went to go investigate all that. I'm going to put this down because it's really heavy. And so they end up down there, and then they find out that one of the princesses of this kingdom has been taken over by a Valg, and this Valg has been inside of her ever since before Kale and Urine even got there. So yeah, that was a very interesting scene, and you kind of learn a little bit more about the Valg and what's happening now and how they are still around and who they are answering to. So that was interesting information. And so the Valg queen basically is Maeve, who has been posing as a fairy queen for thousands of years. So everyone thinks she's Fae. She's actually Valg. So that's interesting. I don't think we knew that before. I'm pretty positive that seemed like new information to me. Like, I don't think Aelin found that out in the last book. So that changes a whole lot. And now they kind of know who to go after. And then they find out that she is keeping a Valg princess and just waiting to unleash her, and she's supposed to be really bad. So they have to like find Maeve before she does anything and like lets that happen. One cool thing about this is that Urine makes kind of a discovery, or has a theory, that the Valg can be treated almost like a parasite. So it can infiltrate your body and it can take you over. And it's like a parasite living inside of you, which can be taken out. And so she figures out a way that maybe she can help people get this out of their body without killing them. Because for so long, they've just been killing the people who are taken over because they have not been able to figure out how to like help them and get them out, right? So they've had to kill the hosts, if you will, to kill the Valg. But Yrene has kind of figured out, I think I can help these people without killing them. I can get this Valg out without killing them. And she does that for the princess. So that's kind of a big revelation. Now, Yrene can do this, but not everybody can, because Yrene is, I believe, a descendant of Silba, who was like the great healer. So that's interesting. And okay, so that happens. And I'm trying to think of what else. Sartaq is named the heir of this kingdom for like his dad has chosen him as the heir to take over. So that was a big deal. That whole thing was like, there's a big competition between the princes and the princesses to take over as heir. And the king chooses one of them. It's not just like, you get it because you're a prince, you have to be chosen. And he chooses Sartaq, which is a big deal. Sartaq and Nezran finally have declared their feelings for each other, so that's good. And Chaol and Yrene, let's talk about that. Okay, this part made me mad. I was angry at this part. So the book ends where they are they're basically getting ready for battle. So they are heading up to Terrasen, I believe, to where Aelin is reported to be heading, and they're going to go and assist and fight this war with them. So they have thousands of ships from this kingdom. They have the rucks, the birds, like thousands or 2,000 birds or something with the fighters on them. And so they're taking all these people, they're taking all the healers, like everyone's going basically. And they are heading out. Now, while they're on this ship heading out, we learn that Chaol and Yrene get married, or they got married. I was like, hold up, because she talked about like they were on the bow of the ship and they had matching rings. And I was like, oh, and then she said, you shouldn't tease your wife about that. I was like, I'm sorry. Hold up. Chaol is a big character in this series. He got an entire book just from his perspective. How are you going to have him get married and then we don't get to see that? We did not get to see a proposal. We didn't get to see a ceremony. Like, he's a big character and we don't get to see him marry the love of his life. Are you kidding me? I felt cheated. Like, I would have preferred 100 less pages of the beginning and 100 pages in replacement of that of Chaol proposing and getting married to Yrene. That's what I would have wanted. So I really was like, that's a big thing, getting married, right? That's a big thing. There's a whole thing with them too that I completely just forgot about, but they have a bond now because he was attacked by the princess who had been taken over by the Valg, and so Yrene healed him completely. He was walking, he was normal again, but he got attacked by this Valg right in the same spot, and it completely put him back where he was. Took away all that healing. So he was actually knocking on death's door, and Yrene made kind of a deal with, I don't even know what it is, almost like a spirit to save him. And like, this was the way that he was going to be able to be saved. And she has now tied her life to his. So when she is completely healed or when she's completely like, her powers are full and good and she's feeling good and she's not like tired or drained or anything, he can walk normally. But if she gets tired or her power, starts diminishing because she's using it, he physically starts diminishing as well. So like, not that he's going to die, but he will not be able to walk, if she's not at full power. And, he could be back in the chair or using his cane or whatever if she's not at full health. But if she is at full health, he's at full health too. So that's really interesting. And they also, their lives are tied together. So if one dies, the other one dies. So, yeah, I completely forgot about that. I thought that was cool. But they flip and get married and we don't get to see it. And I didn't like that. I was like, Cale is a big part of this story. He's one of the 3 main characters. Like, it's Aelin, Dorian, Cale. Like, from the beginning, it's been those 3. And we don't get to see him get married? Seriously? So I did not like that. I would have rather had a big wedding scene and cut out at least 50 to 100 pages of the other stuff that was boring and did not matter. So, not that it didn't matter. I guess it did, but it was just like, I felt like it was 400 pages of information and then a bunch of action at the end. I don't want all the information, like, or the information could have been given in different ways or at a faster pace or something. It was just like, okay. So, final thoughts. I gave this one 4 stars because the last 200 pages were so good. They really, really were. The first 400 pages were almost unnecessary or just didn't need to be 400 pages. It could have been half that easy. And I think my theory here is that this book was originally supposed to be a novella and they extended it into a full novel. And I think there was pressure to make this a 600-page book because all of her other books are 600 pages and, you know, make it even, blah, 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 make it seem like it's part of the series, okay. But I don't think the substance was there for this many pages. And I think that showed. So it's interesting because so many people gave this book 5 stars and said it was like their favorite of the series. This is my least favorite of the series because the first 400 pages were not fun for me to get through. Yes, there was some good information, but like, no, like I felt it was a little bit boring. So it was my least favorite of the series. However, I have read it. I have the information now. The last 200 pages were fantastic, which is why I gave it a 4 stars because the last 200 pages, I was in it to win it, loved it. Here's my Sarah J. Maas that I know and love. But I'm still mad at her for not giving us a Cale wedding scene. I really feel cheated for that because, you know, like, it's like your friend gets married and then you don't get an invitation. I don't like that. I felt like we should have had that. So that's what I feel like. Okay, so those are my thoughts on Tower of Dawn. They are confusing. They are unpopular. I know that because I have seen more 5-star reviews for this one than anything. I couldn't give it 3 because of those last 200 pages. Like, they just were so good. But definitely my least favorite in the series. I am ready to read Kingdom of Ash. I'm really hoping to read it next month. Lindsay and I have already discussed trying to read it in December to finish out the series because I think that Kingdom of Ash is going to be nonstop action, war, everyone's together. Yes, please. That's what I want. So I think we're going to try to make that happen in December to finish out the series. I'm very excited about that. Okay, those are my thoughts. Have you guys read this book? Let me know. Well, I hope you have because you're watching this vlog. So if you haven't, I just told you everything that happened. But let me know your thoughts down below. Do you agree with me? Are you yelling at me because you completely disagree with me? Let me know. I get it. And yeah. All right, that's going to be it for me today. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.